The spectacle of dozens of butterflies floating off after you've committed yourself to another person for life is something very special to many people. I'd like to share with you the myths behind tossing things at the bride and groom after a wedding, and also some superstitions that surround butterflies that make them good candidates for wedding participants. And lastly, some negative and positive effects that may be happening to the ecology due to these butterfly releases. As far as throwing things, food has been a symbol of fertility and prosperity for years, and it's also an offering to evil spirits in a lot of places. The idea is it satisfies the evil spirits so that the marriage will not be harmed. Rice is actually something that's been used for over 2,000 years, starting with ancient Rome, according to ehow.com. Also, wheat, rye, and these were supposed to promote fertility in the bride. Of course, grains are not the only thing that have been thrown after weddings. Ecofetti.com sells biodegradable confetti that you can just toss and then it melts in the rain, no problem. They also sell lavender buds, which add fragrance and beauty to your ceremony. Bubbles are something also that can be personalized and can be used as keepsakes also. They're being used a lot nowadays. Flower petals are something used very commonly. They add a lot of fragrance, and they're just beautiful when they go floating down. It's fun learning about weddings and why people do what they do at the end. But what about butterflies? Why are butterflies specifically becoming such a huge trend? Well, according to journeyofhearts.org, in southern Germany, the dead are reborn as children in the shape of butterflies. So when they fly around the new wife, these could possibly be the children that she'll be having with her husband. In China and Japan, butterflies have been used for centuries to symbolize peace, happiness, and prosperity, all things newlyweds need. And the Aztecs believed that the happy dead would come down as butterflies and assure the family of the good things happening in the afterlife and their lives. Men actually carried the bouquets, and the larger the bouquet, the more status that family has. Some Mexican tribes used it as a symbol of fertility, and even today, a lot of Mexican cultures decorate things with butterflies and give them to women so that they may become fertile. It's important to understand also how our culture views butterflies now. According to ezinearticles.com, they represent hope and new life in America, and in a sense of getting married, the new life that you're starting with your partner is part of that, as well as the hope that your marriage will be long-lived. They also represent good luck, according to the Native Americans. What you do is you capture a butterfly, and this is just a Native American symbol of one. Hopefully you can catch a real one. And you whisper your most desires, your everything you want to that butterfly. And it floats on up to the Great Spirit and lets them know what you want, and in theory it will come true. And what most married couples would of course wish for would be a long marriage, continued happiness and prosperity. According to the Family Butterfly book, in the Ozarks, the best thing that can happen to a woman, a bride, would be for a butterfly to land on her, because this is a sign of good fortune ahead. Now, as far as good fortune, some people disagree on the butterflies themselves, whether butterfly releases cause good fortune for butterflies in general. According to monarchbutterfly.com, a live monarch butterfly release can add all kinds of magic and memories to your special occasion. Also, it has the added bonus of releasing butterflies that are local back into the ecology to repopulate. One thing weddings also can do is draw attention to butterflies by having the releases. It shows the general public how beautiful they are and raises awareness. This is according to an ecological field lab for tracking monarch butterflies and pests. Another thing that can be done to raise awareness is release at hot spots. This helps control migration patterns, especially if you release at a peak season, which happens to be between August and November, depending on the latitude. And this information came from the Journal of Insect Behavior. Now, negative proponents have a real problem with shipping butterflies. They say this threatens biodiversity and may spread disease to local butterflies and plants. Robert Michael Pyle, founder of Xerces Association, says, apart from disease transmission, mixing genes and disrupting studies of distribution, which is his particular concern, this is seldom any good for the butterflies themselves, who can end up released in unfit times, places, and weather conditions, resulting in death, disorientation, and pointless flight looking for mates. PETA has concerns also about events like in the year 2000, there was the Terry Fox run. This was where they opened up containers and butterflies actually fell to the ground immobilized and unfortunately were trampled by some of the runners. One thing is clear. This is becoming a more popular practice. It's taking place next to and even replacing old traditions which we've discussed. It's because of the butterflies' many myths surrounding them, good and bad. And, there's pros and cons to it. These are being discussed and debated, and with time, I'm sure a conclusion will be reached. But for right now, you can attend events now, knowledgeably, having the knowledge you need to make your own decision, and hopefully with an open mind. That way you can appreciate the research and the dedication and the love that many people feel for these insects. They're symbols, they're survivors, and they're deserving of our respect.